you will not feel it as hot in the house.
A review of a house that's used this element.
It is giving the client a comfortable living situation that works for them.
How to protect your home with a security expert.
Security is about securing what you have. You can never get to secure what you don't have.
And how to treat your wood. Catch the show this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on NTV.
Rock plastic tips. Rock plastics are made with 100% virgin raw material. Rock plastics come with new and different unique designs.
Rock Industries brings you rock plastic with a variety of kitchenware, ranging from kitchen dishes, cups, plates, clothesline pegs, spoons, and even rulers for learners. These and more products, contact our offices on 0722 575619 or 0736 028181.
Kila siku unapokaza mshipi, unapozidi bidii, unapoongeza maarifa ya kuimarisha maisha, unapoongeza nguvu ya kukusongeza mbele, unaposherehekea na kuwakaribisha wengine kufurahia nawe, unapojijenga kibiashara na kuonyesha penzi lako, unga unaozaidisha uko papo hapo, kuzaidisha utamu wa maisha kwa kila namna, kila mara. Familia ya Ajab imeongezeka ili uzidishe mapishi. Mambo ni Ajab.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, na siku hizi umeamua kudowngrade. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Hey.
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa, eh?
Kuna pombe yako imekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What a relief! Thank you, Gold Crown.
If regular milk makes you feel uncomfortable, try Gold Crown lactose-free milk. Milk that loves you.
In the last 20 years, we have grown to ensure that we are able to get down to the people.
Telecommunications has become more important as an enabler of the entire economy.
The adoption of mobile money. Starting off 20 years ago, this concept was unknown. And when history is written, Kenya will be named as the lead in this area.
They have opened the space, which has helped a lot the small players in the media industry to be able to thrive.
The next 20 years look promising.
We'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys.
Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
This is NTV.
NTV at One, coming to you live from the Acacia Hotel here in Kisumu County, our third day of the Dala edition NTV on the road. My name is Zainab Ismail. We have a lot of stories we've lined up for you this afternoon, but we begin on what is happening in the country. And the country is on the verge of a major COVID-19 containment crisis, with health workers set to go on strike in less than 24 hours as a boycott commences on Monday. The National COVID-19 Emergency Response Committee will formally present its recommendation to President Uhuru Kenyatta on measures to take during the festive season that's already underway. NTV's Seth Olale also reports of increased travelling activity by city dwellers to rural areas amid fears of a possible lockdown to prevent spread of the second wave of the pandemic.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union Secretary General Dr. Chibanzi Mwachonda this morning confirmed to NTV that indeed doctors countrywide will stay away from hospitals and other health facilities beginning Monday, December 7th, if the demands that include safer working conditions and more personal protection equipment to help them fight COVID-19 have not been addressed by the government. The frontline health workers issued a 21-day notice in the wake of the increasing number of medics who have succumbed to COVID-19.
We will not allow that soldiers who are on the front line, who are supposed to carry the burden of this disease in this country, being left to their own devices. And on that note, the message is still the same. Unless this matter is comprehensively addressed, on 7th there will be no doctor in the facilities.
With infections in Nairobi and Mombasa continue to rise fast, the Council of Governors have proposed to the President a 2-week lockdown set to extend over Christmas, prompting some city dwellers to start mass travel to rural areas. A spot check by NTV Sunday morning at various bus terminals, including Nairobi Country Bus, revealed tens of city residents either boarding or booking rural-bound passenger service vehicles. Governors want cessation of movement to be effected in counties that have recently been leading in new infections such as Nairobi, Mombasa, Kiambu, Nakuru, Kajiado, Uasin Gishu, Busia, Machakos, Kisumu and Kilifi.
Inaweza kuwa mbaya kwa sababu tunaweza fungiwa huko na huku tuko job.
Lockdown in affect long distance na with which hakukuwa na mpangilio mzuri.
The head of state will also be briefed by the National Emergency Response Committee on proposed stringent containment measures after the team meets on Monday. Seth Olale, NTV.
Now, being a Sunday, various politicians have taken to the pulpit today in usual fashion, and their preaching today is from the gospel of BBI. The Orange Democratic Movement leader Raila Odinga joined the faithful here in Kisumu, while the Deputy President William Ruto is at the Jesus is Alive Ministries Church in Nairobi County. Vincent Odwor sat through the service and is now joining us live for more updates. Vincent, what was spoken in Nairobi?
Is presiding over a fundraising that is happening here at Jesus Alive Ministries, headed by Bishop Margaret Manjiru, who is a former Starehe member of Parliament. And the Deputy President is here, and he has been accompanied by a number of legislators allied to him and allied to his cause here in this ministry to really take part in this fundraising. But now the DP was able to speak here, and a number of things that the DP spoke about today is that the Deputy President used this opportunity to push for the need to have a multi-choice referendum for those who want to change the constitution using the BBI drive. And the Deputy President is saying that for him and his team, they are not interested in any political contest for now, and what they want is to ensure that they have a constitution that will cut across and will be approved by all Kenyans in the country. And he's saying that for him is to ensure that they're going to push that the constitution or the drive to change the constitution will be able to bring everybody on board, including those who have divergent opinions regarding the push to change the constitution. Another thing that really came up during this thing is that a number of leaders who spoke, they talk about people who want to use this referendum as a political tool for mobilization ahead of the 2022 election. And some of these leaders are saying that they are aware that those, especially those who are opposed to Deputy President's 2022 presidential ambition, are trying to use this referendum as a mobilization tool for them to be able to solidify their support ahead of the 2022. And therefore, these are some of the things that really come up here regarding the BBI, and they are saying for them, they are going to ensure that what they are pushing for is included till the end. And therefore, we are still here. And you know, Deputy President has been using the church network to really solidify his support. And this is just one of the events that Deputy President attends during the weekend, especially regarding fundraising in churches, to solidify his support and also to use this platform to push for his agenda regarding the BBI and also regarding the 2022 general election. That is for now. I'm taking you back to studio.
All right, thanks, Vincent. And of course, we'll be getting more details from Vincent later on in our subsequent bulletins. Now, meanwhile, there is a group that has officially come out as the opposition to the Building Bridges initiative and its campaign at the current form. Now, the Kongamano la Mageuzi Steering Committee was earlier today giving its State of the Nation address, looking at matters of national importance, including the BBI process. Now, some of the members include the Ukweli Party and the Communist Party of Kenya, as well as retired CJ Willy Mutunga, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, Governor Makueni County, and John Githongo. Now, that function has just ended, but just let's listen into what they had to say.
We are being driven to the same path as our neighbors, you know, where democracy appears a liability to the leadership, and we don't really want to go there. Regarding this signature collection that we are told has happened, first of all, IEBC did not give a framework because there is no referendum law up to now. So they didn't give a framework to say that this is how this will be done from beginning to the end. The Constitution does not give the nitty-gritties of how a referendum can take place. It announces the broad principles, and the nitty-gritty always come through legislation. That legislation does not exist. Even when a referendum law is passed by Parliament, we will have to ask the question, do we go back to the beginning if they still want to insist on changing the Constitution? I have looked very carefully at the BBI 2, BBI 3, and they do not reflect in any material way the views that were taken as an example just in the BBI rallies.
Now, Kiswahili si mdomo chetu is a phrase you will likely hear in Luoland. And look, we spoke to the residents to find out their thoughts on the narrative that Luos are not as fluent in Swahili. This is what they had to say.
They're proud with their language. I mean, Luo. So they feel that, you know, Luo and English goes together.
Yenye nafanya Wajaluo wanapenda kuongea na Kizungu. Kijaluo na Kizungu ni kama ni kitu moja.
One reason as to why Wajaluo hawajui Kiswahili is that the environment imefanya sisi Wajaluo being the Nilotes. You know most of wenye wanajua Kiswahili are the Bantus. Na sisi kama Nilotes and the catchment area linafanya kama Wajaluo sana sana hawajui Kiswahili. That's the main reason.
Ni Kiswahili tunajua, lakini tunapenda English juu Wajaluo najua ni watu wamependa kusoma. Shida ya Mjaluo na Kiswahili ni vile hatukuzaliwa na Kiswahili.
Apart from being proud of their language, they are normally within their culture. They don't move to other tribes. They don't mingle in other places.
Wengine wanasema kama Raila ajui Kiswahili, mbona yeye ajui Kiswahili atapelekea nani?
Well, it is the say of the Luopians, those who live in Kisumu County. Well, we'll be taking a short break on NTV at 1, but just to inform you that we are also going to bring you a lot of other stories from this great county, the lakeside city, Kisumu County, including some of the tourist attraction sites that we managed to visit. Stay with us.
For 50 years, Kenya Reinsurance Corporation has been a reliable provider of reinsurance security and services for most classes of insurance business to over 265 companies in over 62 countries in Africa, Middle East and Asia. Guided by strong core values and certified on 2 global ISO standards, Kenya Re aims to provide seamless stability. To ensure we serve our customers better, we have regional offices in Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia and Uganda. Kenya Re, celebrating 50 years of reinsurance excellence.
Chrissy Bila worries. Chrissy na Naivas is now on with the biggest and tastiest offers this festive season. Every day, 350 winners Kula shopping voucher worth 2,000 shillings. All you need to do is simply present your Naivas card when you shop for your chance to be one of the winners. Naivas saves you money.
New Nestle Ceravita with Grain Smart, a smart combination of vitamins, iron and minerals that gives children the nutrients they need for a great start for school. New Nestle Ceravita with Grain Smart, also available in a small affordable pack.
Oya cheki, kuna vile sai mziki manze, kuna vile inajipa manze, yani na cheki haimaanishi tu tunajibamba, yani very regular.
Kitu ya muhimu kwanza ni kujua hali yako ya status ya HIV.
Kwa hapa hivi tuwapeleke na Rieng, tujue venye manze tutasaidiana, si kama vijana. Na kama unaogopa kwenda pale hivi kwa clinic, unaweza pitia pale hivi kwa chemist ya mtaa, uitishe a self test kit na wanauza 500 bob only. Unajitestia tu mtaani, unajua hali yako.
Manze na ukiweza patikana nayo, yani uko positive manze, usiogope. Kuna madawa yani jo, kuna counseling manze, unaweza kula fit yani, alafu unaweza piga bado ma exercise kiasi hivi. Na kama nyewe manze ukiweza patikana yani hauna manze, usiasi tu unaenda kutafuta tena.
Cheki, ukiweza abstain,
lakini maji yakizidi unga,
wrap it before you tap it.
La bila gloves haiwezi.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona. Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
Ruiru Mabati Factory offers best quality mabati at the most affordable prices. We pride in over 10 years experience. Our products have 15-year warranty and are KEBS certified. We manufacture box profile, Europe tile, Jenga tile, corrugated profile, among others in a wide variety of colors. Enjoy our free delivery in just 72 hours. To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us. You are watching NTV at 1 indeed. Now, agricultural scientists and other stakeholders in the sector have raised concern of a degradation of soil through use of harmful farm inputs, resulting to serious health implications. The players are now asking the government to come up with policies that protect the soil from the use of harmful sprays and fertilizers, and put more emphasis on bioproducts. The International Day for Soil was observed internationally on Saturday.
Every day, the world loses 2,000 hectares of farm soil due to saturation of salt in the soil. Besides depleting soil nutrients and killing useful microorganisms, some farm inputs also contribute to growing health risks and spread of killer diseases like cancer. Speaking during the World Soil Day celebrations at Resources-Oriented Development Initiative Center in Ruiru, experts warned of a gloomy future if measures are not taken to arrest the situation.
Those herbicides have a very, very bad element which is known as glyphosate, and glyphosate is carcinogenic.
We have been using a lot of chemicals or things that have degraded our soils, but slowly and surely they have seen the differences and they have seen the benefits of using organic matter to build the base, which is the soil for the plants.
Scientists recommend a reduction in use of conventional synthetic fertilizer, herbicides and sprays that inject dangerous chemicals in the soil and water, and a shift to organic farming.
The biofertilizer helps to even add more nutrients to the soil, so that even after a short while, instead of the soil becoming, more depleted, it will be enriched.
We also can have foliar, which we make within a month. There are other brews that we concoct or make, which can be made within a day. And all those are organic, and they rival conventional or synthetic fertilizers or inputs that we apply in modern agriculture.
World Soil Day is held annually on 5th December as a means to focus attention on the importance of healthy soil and to advocate for the sustainable management of soil resources.
Now listen to this. Did you know that rabbit urine is precious and can be used as cheap, reliable and organic source of pesticides in the farm? Well, rabbit farmers in Nyandarua have created a business from the harvest of rabbit urine that is then sold for farm use, as Ruth Sarmoi now tells us.
From the soft fur that covers their body to the juicy, delicious meat underneath its skin, and even to their urine, the domestic rabbit could be the game changer in Nyandarua County. Stephen Joroge, a final year catering student at Chuka University, is keen to breed his rabbits for meat, aesthetics and the precious urine.
We use the urine to spray on cabbages, eat cabbages, fruits like mango trees. Yeah.
Per day, one rabbit can produce 300 liters of urine, with a litre going for 300 to 500 Kenya shillings to the local farmers or a pesticide company. For its effective farm use, 1 litre of rabbit urine is mixed with 5 litres of water, then sprayed to the crops. For other farmers, rabbit rearing has come in handy during the pandemic.
Kwa pande za waste time, sana sana huaga siezi kwa sababu sometimes kabla niende saa huko kupatana na mabeste, maybe niko kwa sungula, maybe sometimes nazitoa pale nje nazichunga kidogo kidogo.
Wanafurahisha, ukiwa unafanya kazi chapati uchoke, unaweza enda uangalia tu kama wanyama wengine, ufurahie tu, uone ni kitu starehe juu wako rangi tofauti. Hata corona tunaipiga vita juu ya furaha.
Even with the rich agricultural farmlands, Nyandarua County suffers from high rates of malnutrition among its children, with the county rate standing at 30%, much higher than the country that stands at 26%. Farmers have been urged to shift focus and consume locally produced products as opposed to selling.
We have to think about protein sources, so even if it's for just home consumption, as you try to build up the markets, I think it's also a way to go for, it's a way to encourage people to consume this kind of proteins.
With a short gestation period of 32 days, a rabbit can fetch a farmer roughly 200 to 700 shillings, depending on its size and breed. Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.
Well, who knew? Thanks, Ruth, for that report. And in other stories making headlines regionally, bombing, looting and skirmishes have hit parts of Ethiopia's Tigray as government troops declared they're close to capturing the North region group's leaders. Meanwhile, Ethiopian refugees who fled in the fighting in the Tigray region have refused to be transported to Rukuba refugee camp after they crossed the border to Hamadit, eastern Sudan. Now, Sudan is now faced with a massive influx and has reopened the camp. It once housed refugees who fled Ethiopia's 1983-1985 famine that killed over 1 million people.
A month of fighting between Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's federal army and the Tigray People's Liberation Front is believed to have killed thousands of people and driven some 46,000 refugees into neighboring Sudan. Abiy's government has said the conflict is winding down a week after it seized Tigray's regional capital, Mekele, but TPLF leader Debretsion Gebremichael revealed that there was still fighting outside the city. He said federal forces bombed the town of Abiy Adi on Friday without giving further details, while a TPLF spokesman accused government troops of looting in Mekele. The government did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Most communications in Tigray are down and access to the area is severely restricted, making it hard to verify either side's statements. Abiy used to be a political partner of the TPLF, which dominated Ethiopia's governing coalition for nearly 3 decades. But he irked his former allies by putting Tigrayan officials on trial for corruption and rights abuses. They said the arrests were politically motivated, accusing Abiy of trying to tighten his grip over Ethiopia's 10 semi-autonomous federal states. Abiy denies that and has called the TPLF leaders criminals who mutinied against federal authority. Army Colonel Shambel Bayane said late on Friday that government forces were 10 kilometers away from the forest in Gore area, where Debretsion, Getchau and other TPLF members were thought to be hiding. Relief agencies, meanwhile, are worried about a lack of food, fuel, medicines and even body bags in Tigray. Convoys are on standby to take aid in. Ethiopian refugees who fled the fighting in Tigray region have refused to be transported to Rukaba refugee camp in Sudan.
Now we transport only 10,000. The restart is about 32,000. These people now we need shelter, we need food because short of food, and also we need support to explain him you must go to Rakuba. This is reception center and it is not far from the border from here. It is not safe. This is the government says that you must go to Rakuba, but this refugees say we have some problem from there is some people not coming like sister, brothers and son.
I don't want to be in the camp, but I cannot do anything about it, as I have no other option, no power, and I do not own anything. I can't move around freely because the government will not allow me to do so. Every country has its own rules. I am now under the responsibility of the UNHCR, and maybe this will enable me to do something, like getting my children, wife, or maybe my lost brothers.
Residents in the central town of Shire told a new government-appointed provisional administration that the cost of groceries were skyrocketing and fuel shortages were grounding ambulances used to take patients to hospitals. Others complained about looting in the town. Abiy's government has said it will protect civilians in the northern region and ensure their needs are met.
Well, elsewhere, President and candidate Nana Akufo-Addo held his last rally in Accra in Ghana today, ahead of presidential election on Monday, with concerns of a peaceful election being guaranteed. The city centre was plastered with billboards and posters and flags at every corner. Akufo-Addo, running for a second term, drove through the shanty town of Nima, making whistle stops to acknowledge mammoth crowds clad in T-shirts of the governing New Patriotic Party, defying all COVID-19 protocols, with just a handful wearing face masks. The ecstatic crowd waved miniature flags as the president headed towards the rally grounds, where he addressed his supporters. Well, away from that, the breakthrough in COVID-19 vaccines has certainly boosted global hopes of vanquishing the coronavirus pandemic. But as Victor Kiprop reports in our global COVID-19 watch, the pandemic continues to ravage global economies, killing thousands every day, even as the World Health Organization says the fight is far from over.
The United States reported a record number of coronavirus cases in 24 hours for the third day running on Saturday, days after a top White House expert warned of worsening spread of the disease, just weeks away from the expected commencement of vaccination. A tally by Johns Hopkins University shows that the world's worst-hit country, which has seen a dramatic virus resurgence in recent weeks, recorded nearly 230,000 new infections and 2,527 COVID-related deaths on Saturday alone. Latest data from Johns Hopkins indicates that at least 66.5 million people have been infected with COVID-19 globally, with at least 1.5 million fatalities. In the United Kingdom, reports indicate that Queen Elizabeth II will receive the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine within weeks after UK regulators granted emergency approval. With the rollout of the vaccine expected to begin next week, the 94-year-old Queen and her 99-year-old husband Prince Philip are in line to get the jab early due to their advanced age and will not receive preferential treatment. And finally, the World Health Organization has warned that vaccines are no magic bullet for the coronavirus crisis. Even as Russia started vaccinating its high-risk health workers on Saturday, and other countries geared up for similar programs, the WHO cautioned against what it said was an erroneous belief that the pandemic would end soon, with vaccines on the horizon.
I have seen vaccines transform the world and change the course of epidemics, and I fully expect that these vaccines and the ones that are to come will do that, and that will take the pressure off the health system.
Health officials in Moscow said they had opened 70 coronavirus vaccine centers in the Russian capital that would initially offer jobs for health, education and social workers. According to the WHO, 51 candidate vaccines are currently being tested on humans, with 13 reaching the final stage mass testing.
Well, in other news making headlines in the world of sports, Kenya's Kibiwott Kandie has shattered the half-marathon world record on the way to winning the Valencia half-marathon in a time of 57 minutes 32 seconds. It was sweet revenge for Kandie, who beat Ugandan youngster Jacob Kiplimo into second, going some way to make up for the Kenyan's loss to the Ugandan in October at the World Half Marathon. Another Kenyan, Ronex Kipruto, finished third in 57 minutes 49 seconds in a remarkable event. The top four runners all finished inside of the previous world record of 58 minutes 1 second set by Kenyan Geoffrey Kamworor. It now means that both half-marathon world records are currently held by Kenyans, with Perez Jepchirchir, the holder of the women's only world record. And today's Kenya Premier League fixtures, Bidco United will play host to FC Leopards at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi. Leopards are currently third in the standings with 3 points after beating Tusker FC 2-1 in their first match of the season. Meanwhile, Bidco are placed 8th with 1 point after a 0-0 draw with Western Stima played at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. In the other fixtures of the day, Posta Rangers will be looking for their first win when they visit Kakamega Homeboys at the Buhungu Stadium, while Sofapaka will go against Western Stima at the Wundai Stadium in Taita. Meanwhile, Manchester City strolled past Fulham, beating them 2-0 with Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne finding the net in another comfortable home win for Pep Guardiola's men. Sterling set the tone by grabbing his first Premier League goal. Impose a slow resumption of some of the major competitions are getting back to track. A bodybuilding contest is underway in Nairobi following the government's decree that non-contact sport may resume in phases after months of COVID-19 restrictions. Sports was cancelled early in March due to the ongoing pandemic.
So the show, it was challenging to organize this year compared to last year because of the COVID challenges and limitations. So we had to plan and stop planning because of the Minister of Sports was cancelled, the curfew, blocking everything happening because of social distancing. But finally, thank God it has happened. So it was quite challenging, but we have managed to pull it through.
The ministry suspended contact sports. You see, bodybuilding is not a contact sport, it's a non-contact sport. So we fall in the category of non-contact sports, which as long as there's social distancing and observing all that, you get to participate in it. But even still, like the social distancing part is a bit tricky, because all of you have to be crammed in a room before you start you are tanning, you're doing your makeup, you're doing everything. It's still one room, so that's it's tricky.
And that's all we had lined up for you this hour. Many thanks for keeping us company. More news, of course, later on our last day here in the Dala edition in Kisumu County. You want to stay for that. We'll also be having a conversation with the governor of this great county, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, later on in our 9 p.m. bulletin. Stay with us. My name is Zainab Ismail. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
This is NTV.
Always a full house this season when the family comes together.
To reconnect.
One thing we do, we watch GoTV. We love it.
It is everyone's favorite place this festive season.
Usimiss out. Get GoTV decoder kwa shilingi 1999.
GoTV. Love it.
Soft and glowing skin.
New Geisha Black Soap with activated charcoal to give you soft and glowing skin. New Geisha Black Soap and New Geisha Moringa.
In the last 20 years, we have grown to ensure that we are able to get down to the people.
Telecommunications has become more important as an enabler of the entire economy.
The adoption of mobile money. Starting off 20 years ago, this concept was unknown, and when history is written, Kenya will be named as the lead in this area.
They have opened the space, which has helped a lot the small players in the media industry to be able to thrive.
The next 20 years look promising.
Talking sticks more than stone, we look at wood as a building material.
Timber is a better insulator of heat and cold. Even in the heat, in the summer, you will not feel it as hot in the house.
A review of a house that's used this element.
It is giving the client a comfortable living situation that works for them.
How to protect your home with a security expert.
Security is about securing what you have. You can never get to secure what you don't have.
And how to treat your wood. Catch the show this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on NTV.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.